Hey everyone, it's Andrew. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a video doing an unboxing, review, and first time sound test of the Tagry X08 true wireless earbuds. These are a set of earbuds that you can currently get on Amazon for about $30. And so what we'll do in this video is we'll go over the packaging, the main features of the headphones. We'll take them out, show you what they look like. Then at the end of the video, I'll show you how to pair it with your actual iPhone, which is the type of phone I have, and then I'll walk through doing a sound test to test the audio quality. As always, if you're interested in potentially purchasing this, I'll leave links in the description below, but we'll get started. So these are the Tagry X08 true wireless earbuds. This is the box and packaging that it comes in. It did come saran wrapped as far as keeping it concise and compact. The main features, really quick as far as summary, is there's going to be 7 separate color options for this. There's going to be a sunset pink, which is a bright pink, a white, a black, an ocean blue, which is really like a navy color, a phantom purple, which is more of like a dark purple. Then there's going to be a lighter pink, and then there's going to be a lighter purple as well. You can check out the link below as far as the different color options, but those are the 7 different colors. And then the main highlights they really emphasize on this box, but I'll go over them. Basically, it's going to have a built-in microphone. It'll have smart touch control where you can tap or hold on the side of the headphones so that you can either cycle through the volume, skip a song, start or stop the music, or power it off. And I'll walk through those controls once we go through the manual. This will be IPX5 waterproof, which is good for if you're working out or if you're running outside, because if the headphone gets wet, it's protected and it won't get damaged from that standpoint. And then on this side, they do emphasize that it's wireless charging. So this is actually interesting. I haven't seen this before as far as headphones, but this will actually charge with a MagSafe charger. So you can put it directly on the charger and the case will charge that way, which is cool and unique from that standpoint. But it'll also be wired charging as well using a USB-C cable. It'll have an LED power indicator light on the front. And then lastly, it'll have a portable charging case that'll basically keep the headphones in place so you can throw them in your bag or things like that. On the back here, they do emphasize some features of it as well. So the transmission range will be about 33 feet, which gets you a decent size. For me, usually that's about the size of my gym, or if I'm doing soccer, it gets me kind of around the goal post, but if you walk too far, it doesn't work too great. We talked about the waterproof. The playtime will be 6 hours on a single charge. That would be the charge if you just use the headphones alone without the charging case. But as a whole, if you use the headphones and charge them in the charging case, there'll be about 60 hours of use before you have to charge the whole system as a whole, which is a good length of time. But that's the main features there. So that's it. What we'll do now is we'll take this out of the packaging. So it says True Wireless, has an open tab here and pulls out directly like that. There's going to be a user manual. I'll review this in a moment on my own just to save time, but this should walk through all the tap features or the touch features as far as how to use it. And so we'll walk through that briefly at one point during this video. And then here's the actual case itself. Or the case and the headphones, and then should be the charging cable here. And then so in here there should be the charging cable, yeah, as you expect. So there's going to be a USB-A to USB-C adapter. This will plug into the bottom port on the actual charging case, so you can use that. And then here's additional earbuds as far as using them. So you've got 4 separate earbuds here. They look like they might be different sizes, but this is useful as well for those of you that lose these or they break or fall or whatever it might be. So you have replacements there. And then lastly, this is the actual case. So that's what it looks like. So it's basically like a glossy finish on the actual LED screen. And then when you open this is what I mean by the LED screen. It's a little bit dark there, but it shows the charge for both the case as a whole and the headphones. And when you take these out, I believe it should kind of indicate, there you go. So it's 99% charged, the overall headphones. It shows that when you put these headphones in here, when it's illuminating like that upwards, it means that the headphones are actually charging, so they are charging. And as you charge, it'll basically go down. So that's it. It's very useful from that standpoint, because this is useful for if, like, I have a headphone similar to this, where if you go to the gym and you start approaching the end of the charge, you can make a mental note to go home and like charge it before going to the gym next. These have been sitting in here for a while, so I'm curious to see whether it stays at like this charge point, but we'll have to see whether they are fully charged. But as you can see, it's actually dropping down pretty quickly, but they have been sitting for a couple weeks or months actually. And then here's the actual headphones. So here is the two separate headphones. The case itself has a slot for each, which is unique for each side, so you can only fit it in that way. So slides in very easily and clicks into place, snaps into place from that standpoint. And then same with the other side. But the headphones themselves, this is what they look like. And so basically they have your earbud, classic like silicone earbud that'll go into your ear. They have a little kind of like strand down here, and then they have a illuminated light here that I believe just shows whether it's on and or off, or whether it's pairing. I believe there's going to be a red light here for when it's like attempting to pair, but it'll turn white when it's actually paired. So that's that. And then this side here, it's not an actual button, but it indicates kind of where you tap for the touch features. And so usually what they do is they have two separate like sets of features for the left headphone, which is this one, as compared to the right. But that's kind of the general features there. Basically it's a nice like glossy black finish, and then it's got the silver, like a charcoal silver or slate gray on the side there. So pretty elegant design there. Very lightweight, and they'll fit pretty easily. I'll go over the fit and kind of audio aspect in a moment, but that's what the headphones look like, and so that's the main things there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read through the manual real quick on my own, and then I'll walk through the different touch features so we can get a sense of what this actually includes as far as the touch features. Okay, so I felt the best option as far as going through the manual is going through each of these things one by one. And so first off, we're going to go through pairing the actual device. So this is pretty straightforward. It'll be similar for other devices for the iPhone. I only have an iPhone, so I can't speak to any other device like Android and such. But basically all you have to do is open the case, pull the headphones out, and then basically they will turn on their own and kind of indicate this like blue and red pattern indicating that it needs to be paired. And so then what you do is you go to settings on your phone, go to Bluetooth, and then look for other devices here. These are all the current devices, but down here at the bottom where it says other devices, it'll say X08, and then you have to just tap that, and then now it'll be connected. Usually what happens with these headphones is when you do pair the device, I'm going to check real quick. I'm going to disconnect here and then reconnect. Yeah, when you disconnect, it'll say disconnected, but then when you tap and reconnect, it'll say connected. And so there was a voice in the headphone that actually indicated when it was connected and disconnected. And so that basically confirms that you're paired and the device is activated for your phone. Next up, we're going to go over how to answer or end calls. So all you have to do here is basically when you're on the phone, you just basically double tap either headphone, either the right or the left on the side like this. So just double tap like that, and it'll either answer or end a call when you're on the phone, and the phone, or when the phone is ringing, or if you're on the phone. But you can use either one. Just double tap the side and it'll work like that. And then next we have rejecting calls. So if you have a call that comes through with the headphones in place, all you have to do is just tap and hold the side for 2 seconds and it'll reject the call and the call. And then next is all the music settings. And so first up, you can do play or pause by either tapping on either earbud on the side just once. So that when you have music on, you'll just tap the side and it'll either play or pause, and then it'll do it that way, but you can use either earbud for that. Then to increase or decrease the volume, what you'll do is very similar. You'll long tap the right earbud to increase the volume. So basically they just hold it and press it down for about 2 seconds, and that'll increase the volume. Meanwhile, if you want to lower the volume, you hold down and tap for 2 seconds, or hold down for 2 seconds on the left one, and that'll decrease the volume. It also has a voice assistant control to use the microphone. In order to do that, you basically just triple tap, so go 1, 2, 3 on either earbud, and it'll activate the voice assistant or the Siri for your phone. And then next, if as far as skipping or going back for tracks or music, if you use the left earbud and double tap 1, 2, it'll go back to the prior track. Meanwhile, if you want to advance or skip a track, you basically double tap on the right side. So right is skip ahead, and then on the left one will be go back to the prior track. And then there's a couple features as far as powering it on or powering it off. So the first, as I demonstrated previously, is if you have it in the case like this and you take it out, it'll automatically turn on. So that's one way to power it on. However, if you have it outside of the case and you want to turn it on, all you have to do is long tap for 2 seconds on the earbud, and it'll automatically power on. And they do note that when you do that, it'll turn blue on the bottom here. So it'll go from black like this to a blue when it's actually on. And you can do that for either headphone. I'm not entirely sure if by activating one, whether it'll turn on both. Typically in the past though, if you have one, you kind of have to turn both on separately in order to activate them all as a whole. Okay, and then very similarly, as far as powering it off, there's 2 separate ways. One is you just basically put in the case like this and close the case, and it'll automatically power off on its own. So that's one way. The other way of doing it is when it's actually powered on and currently on, like it is here where it's blue, basically you will long tap and either earbud for 5 seconds, and it'll automatically turn off on its own, and it'll flash red first before powering off. Okay, so now we'll test out the Tagry X08 earphones as far as the fit, feel, and kind of comfort level, as well as a sound test. So what we'll do is we'll just take these out. And again, this is what they look like up close, okay? And I'll throw them in my ear. And so here's what it looks like for the left ear, as far as that. And then this is what the right ear looks like. I'll say that overall, first impressions, they are very comfortable. They fit very easily. They're snug from that standpoint. I don't feel like they're wobbly at all. A lot of times with the silicone ones, it's hit or miss as far as whether it sits in your ear or whether it's too tight. But what I'm actually finding with this one is it's a lot more comfortable than other ones. So that's a nice standpoint there. And overall, they seem to look pretty good from that standpoint. The black sleek design with that slate kind of like charcoal gray is a nice color pattern there, but definitely check out the other colors as well. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my phone. I'm going to make sure that it's paired, which it is currently, yeah, it's currently connected. I'm just going to disconnect and reconnect just to get a sense of it. So we're currently disconnected. It said disconnected. The voice is a little bit quiet there, so we might have to increase the volume, but now we're going to reconnect. And so I reconnected without any issues there. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play music with Pandora just to get a first sense of the sound quality. And it's pretty good actually. It's it's actually very good. Like I've got a set of headphones like this that I use at the gym, and this is much more crisper, cleaner as sound quality, and a lot smoother there. It's actually very impressive from that standpoint. So I definitely have no complaints as far as that. Very good from that standpoint. As far as the volume control, what I find is, for me personally, if I'm using headphones like this at the gym, what I tend to do is just increase the volume on my phone as needed by hitting the side button there. I don't usually tend to use the touch features just because I find that they're a little bit hit or miss. But what we're gonna do is we're just gonna test some of them. If it takes a while, I'll just stop doing it. But we'll hit, so basically we'll, I believe if we tap once, it'll play. Yeah, and it started playing. So no issues there. As you can see on my Pandora, it actually started. And then if we tap again, it should pause it. and it did pause it. I'm noticing that if you look at the headphone, I was trying to tap the top here at first, but what you want to actually do is tap the middle area, and that works much better. So it's like right around the sweet spot around here that it works pretty well as far as turning it on and off. And so that's that. Now that was the play and pause. Now what we'll do is we'll just tap and play one more time, which it did. And now what we're gonna do is press and hold, I believe for 2 seconds, and see if it increased the volume. And it did actually. So if you press and hold it for about 2 seconds, it does increase the volume. And then same thing, if you press and hold it for 2 seconds on this left-hand side, it did decrease the volume. It's very subtle and slight though. But you do have to just be very careful there. So, but it increased the volume. Now I believe, let me double check, but you can skip, I believe, by pressing and holding it longer. Oh, actually, that was interesting. So if you press and hold it and keep holding it, it'll raise the volume incrementally. Same thing on the left-hand side. So if I press and hold, it'll actually decrease the volume on the left-hand side. Meanwhile, if I press and hold for a long period of time, it'll slowly increase the volume. So that's cool. Let me check the touch feature as far as skipping songs 1 second. So give me 1 moment. Okay, so now we have music playing again. Now in order to skip songs, you actually just double tap. And it did immediately skip it, so that worked pretty well. Given it's Pandora, I can't really reverse it because that's the setting I have. But double tapping immediately worked there. So overall, first impressions with this, I'll say that the overall sound quality is pretty good. It's very crisp, clear sound quality from that standpoint. The fit is very, very comfortable. It sits in your ear very easily, doesn't seem wobbly. And I'll say that as compared to other models of earbuds or headphones that I've had, this is actually the best touch features that I've experienced. I've tried out the True Wireless S23 ones, which I've been using for almost like 2 years now at the gym, and that one's hit or miss a little bit. And then the S61 really wasn't that great as far as the touch features, but this seems like a step up as compared to those models. So I'm pretty impressed from this standpoint. It seems like this is just like an overall step up from the S23, which is the one that I previously reviewed. The case is very similar as far as the design features and elements. The only difference is that these have the silicone earbuds rather than like the plastic earbud that inserts directly into your ear. So it is different there, but the overall touch design, hour longevity, and a lot of the wireless features are pretty similar there. The one main feature that I would like to highlight is that this is a MagSafe charging case. So if you put it on your nightstand with a MagSafe case, it will charge, which is pretty cool because I haven't seen that before. And so that's much more convenient than plugging it into the wall. And it's something that you can just put on there, charge it, and you don't have to worry about this going dead. But that's all I have for this video, but this is the Tagry X08 True Wireless Earbuds. You can currently get them on Amazon for about $30. That's a very, very good price, very affordable for these types of headphones. I think you'll get a good longevity out of this, and it'll work really well. I don't see any major issues. So what I'll do is I'll start switching over to using these at the gym and for my headphone purposes, and I'll circle back if I've run into any issues as far as the functionality, sound, or battery life. But thanks for watching and have a great night.